Hey YouTube, Kira Qualia here, bringing you all my Dauntless Blademaster, Cardfight Vanguard, Kagero standard deck profile for April 2021. With the Clan Selection Volume 2, we were given a new lineup of Kagero support, being in the form of one of my favorite Kagero units, being Dauntless Dragon. This is a very versatile grade 3 that focuses on having your other grade 3s that ride on this card gain all the abilities of Dauntless Dragon, but also benefiting from being able to still use the abilities when you're rode as Dauntless Drive itself. So I've always been a fan of the Dauntless Dragon break ride, and I'm very happy with the results that they made for this card as well, having a restand ability by basically doing the exact same thing that the original Dauntless Dragon focused on. I may work on a Dragonic Overlord Dauntless Drive deck in the future as well. It was always called Dauntless Dote because of Dragonic Overlord at the end. I'll see if I can come up with anything interesting that focuses on Overlord in the future as well. But for now, we're going with the, I would say, most standard support that works with this card, being Dragonic Blademaster, working with the Vision tokens, and this card. So let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So for the grade 3s, we're running 4 of, I would say, the best unit in the deck, and that is Dauntless Dragon. On Vanguard, at the end of the battle, your drive check revealed 2 or more normal units. One of your front row rear guards gets plus 10,000 power until end of turn. So if you don't get any trigger units off of this card, you have that option for this card to get the plus 10,000 power to something else on the field. So very, very useful, making up for not drive checking too many triggers, or if you go early game and get a lot of them and don't have too many late game when using this card. And on Vanguard Circle, once per turn, at the end of the battle, it attacked. If your hand has 4 or more cards, discard 3 cards from your hand and stand this unit. So this is the restand power that I spoke of before that this card shared with its original unit. It's a once per turn, so you can't use it again after using it, which I think is how they limited this card, for being the fact that you can use it even if you don't have a unit ride on this card, like the original break ride. And when rode upon, choose one of your Vanguards, and it gets all of this card's auto abilities and other than this ability until end of turn. So the auto abilities shared are the plus 10,000 for the non-triggers revealed and the restand. So very, very awesome. It's basically like a break ride. Being able to use this card for that option makes it quite scary altogether, with Dauntless Dragon itself as well, but being able to combo it with Dragonic Blademaster makes it all the better, because with this card we have just more and more pressure with our Vision tokens, which is why we're running 4 Dragonic Blademaster Soin. I would say the better Blademaster for standard format. With this card on Vanguard Circle during your turn, if your opponent has no rear guards, this unit and all of your Vision tokens get plus 10,000 power. And on Vanguard Circle, once per turn, discard 2 cards from your hand, call a Vision token to rear, and at the end of that turn, retire that token. If Wyvern Strike Doha and Wyvern Strike Garan are on your rear guard, retire all of your opponent's rear guards. So that immense pressure comboed with your Dauntless Dragon, and the fact that the Vision token also has the normal power of this and Twin Drive means not only are you performing the Twin Drive for the restanding Soin and the Vision token, but also having that pressure means you're doing 6 drive checks in total. It's an awesome combo to make use of with this card, and why it was the preferred one I went into first with this card for the new support we received. And having Garan and Doran is just the setup you not only attack your opponent with 6 drive checks, but take care of all their rear guards as well, while providing you additional power to the Vision token and your Soin. That's it for the grade 3s. Moving on to the grade 2s. I run 4 Wyvern Strike Doha. I remember for so long I did not have a playset of this card. I think this is the first deck profile with Blademaster that I finally have a full playset to show for. And Wyvern Strike Doha, when placed on rear, from hand, counter last 1, search your deck for up to 1 Wyvern Strike Garan, call it to rear, and shuffle your deck. So the grade 1 definitely needed to finish the full combo with Soin, so running a full playset of Doha just to be able to call that card to rear is great setup, giving you an additional booster on the field, but also providing you with that combo. And during the battle attack, if your opponent has no rear guards, your opponent cannot call normal units from hand to guard, which should be easily done thanks to Soin retiring all of your opponent's rear guards. So not only does this card provide additional grade 1 support, it also just provides a very restrictive guard that your opponent has to call on to guard against this attack altogether. And with Imaginary Gift Force 2, you can need that much of a pressure. And having this card on the 1 rear guard circle, because the other one will obviously be taken up by the Vision token that'll be performing a drive check as well, meaning more and more trigger units to give to this card as the preferred final attack during the turn. For added backup for the grade 2s, I also run 4. I think this, I almost misread it there, Break Breath Dragon. I thought it said Broke Breath Dragon. But with Break Breath Dragon, on rearguard, at the end of the battle attack, if your opponent's rearguard was retired this turn, retire this unit to draw a card. So obviously with Soen, you're going to retire your opponent's rearguard. So this card just provides extra draw power. And when rode upon, choose one of your opponent's rearguards, retire it. If you did not retire, draw a card. So early game, if you ride this card and your opponent doesn't have any rearguards, it's just more draw power. And that's what this card provides all together with this deck. Draw power for retiring, draw power for riding on this card, you name it. It's great for the ride target power, so you can rely on your other units, like Doha just being called to rear, to provide that additional grade 1 call, because Doha only works when it's on rear guard. And for the last of the grade 2 units, I also run 3 Dragon Dancer Farja on rearguard during your turn. If your opponent has no rearguards, this unit gets plus 5,000 power. It's great for that pressure alone, but also great for the setup on Vanguard or rear when placed. Look at 5 cards from the top of your deck, reveal up to 1 Wyvern Strike Doha or Wyvern Strike Garan. From among them, add to your hand, shuffle your deck. So Doha normally can provide the search power for Garan. I use Farja just for an added support for searching out more copies of Doha to add to your hand, and then just set up more of the combo. If you wanted to, increase your number of Farja for the search power, you can always drop the number of Break Breath Dragon. It's great for the Rode Upon effect, but also this card just provides more search power, which is definitely needed altogether just to set up your rear guard combo. And that's it for the grade 2s. Moving on now to the grade 1s. I run 4 Dragon Knight Hishat. On rear, when placed, counter +1, soul +1, draw a card, choose one of your opponent's back row rearguards, and retire it. It's more rearguard retiring power, but also when rode upon, you look at 5 cards from the top of your deck, reveal up to 1 grade 3 or greater card from among them, put into your hand, shuffle your deck. So I'll stress this enough throughout the video. You definitely want Dauntless Drive Dragon as your first go-to grade 3 ride target, because then having the combo to ride Soen on top of it, it doesn't even have to be any limitation. It just has to be your next grade 3 ride, and you can go off with the combo right there. So this card provides great search power while also providing on rear guard, just retire power against your opponent, and just having that option for those back row rear guards can take care of some pesky ones until you retire everything with Soen. For more of the grade 3 search power, like I said, I've stressed it enough, but it's definitely important in the deck. I run 4 Lava Flow Dragon. It's your grade 3 searcher. Just having that option. You'll be fine if going into Soen, but the main combo in the deck is starting off with Dauntless Drive Dragon, attacking, having that restand power early game, and then re-riding again into Soen, copying those powers with all the more restanding capabilities. So that grade 3 search is very, very vital, and you want to make sure you have the proper cards in your hand to make use of it. And then for the last of the grade 1s, I run the 3 Wyvern Strike Garan. I only run 3 of it in the deck for the fact that it's searchable with Doha. It's really, all you need. Once you have that set up, it's there just for having the full retire power that Soen can provide. And it's searchable with that grade 2, and that grade 2 is searchable with another grade 2. So there are plenty of targets to at least get this card out onto the field, and you also just have the luck that you'll open this card up to begin with and just be able to call it out normally. With the final spot for the grade 1s being 3 Flame of Hope Ammo. It's just the counter charge power with this card, especially when your opponent's rearguard is retired, which is a good amount of times, just to make up with some of the resources like with Hishat, or even just with your Soen altogether, giving you more counter charges to use for a bunch of other cards in the deck. If you wanted to increase the number of Garan to remain with that consistency, you can always drop the number of Airmo to 2 and put in a 4th copy of Garan. And that's it for the grade 1s. For the grade 0s, my starter of choice is Wyvern Kid Ragla. I thought Conroe and also the Undo were more Dragonic Overlord type of cards, so I'll probably run that starter when I run the Dauntless Dote version and when I get around to it. So this is just my preferred starter for this deck, still having the errated shield text for that card. And for the trigger lineup, I'm going with the 8 critical, so 4 Embodiment of Spear Tar and 4 Demonic Dragon Mage. Just that pressure with the 6 drive checks you'll be performing can be the game-winning play you use against your opponent, and the fact that I mostly use Magic Gift Force 2, so that just adds on even more pressure to those units that I call out. With the Sentinel still being the Wyvern Guard Bari, it's just my preferred Sentinel draw, the guaranteed guard against my opponent, but still providing me enough cards to discard for Dauntless Drive Dragon, since you need to have 4 more cards in your hand to use this card. So early game, if I use that discard power, having this option to draw more into my hand makes it all worth it. And then lastly, just the 4 Dragon Monk Genjo. Once again, it's just the original heal that I've used all this time, so it's the one I'm more comfortable with. All the these, there's really no, limitation to any different heal in the deck. You'll just focus on the ones you prefer for all of your lineup. You'll just need that consistency regardless of the trigger you use. And that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoy. Like I said, Dauntless Drive Dragon is one of my favorite Kagero units, so I'm definitely happy with the final support we got for standard format, that it was one of those cards. And I'll definitely consider focusing and working on maybe a Dauntless Dote deck in the future, because that was also one of my favorite decks from the original Cardfight Vanguard, all the way up from, Break Ride to the Stride format. And until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Qualia out.